Hey guys, SPiEkY here for another ranked match, and that's right. I got the match, MarkXXIV MW against TinyDragon. It's going to be the match. Surely we now will see the supreme skill of Mark over here. Playing an Angel Pain. Might be playing a bleed deck, maybe. He's got that full faction under depths. Tiny, I think, is still playing his Vashal deck. I would believe so, since he's got that Ranger down with his little wolf, which he'll send to kind of help with that font there. And he's got his Quill Quip down for some range support. Angel's heading over to grab that font. Decent enough move, you know. Can't really go wrong with that. There's a Pincushion going for some anti-range because he got that Quill Quip down. Or I assume that's why he deployed that, and not just because it's cheap and efficient. There's another one. He might just be deploying them because they're efficient. They're not super cheap anymore, but they're still pretty badass for something that punishes melee and is immune to range. Oh, Tiny deploying some range against the two Pincushions. That's a bold choice. He's got the Norse shield up. So, I mean, he's sure he's taking damage, but he's also getting Nora from it. Markoth in guild chat talking about upgrading to Windows 10, which I personally am not planning on doing, but that's because I've got Windows 7 and it's not actually quote-unquote genuine, I suppose. It's I had an old laptop that had it was an Alienware, and it had Windows 7 on it, and you know, I like that operating system. So when I built this computer and I needed an operating system, I figured, oh well, fuck it, why would I buy a brand new operating system when I just have this one, you know, already here, and it's the nice Alienware version of Windows 7. There's his Reaver. It looks like he's building a mostly anti-range kind of deck, because he's got Absorb on the Angel, of course, because it comes with that. And then he's got bunches of Arrow Eater. Looks like he's building kind of a range hate deck. But yeah, anyways, I've got my my Alienware Windows 7 on this computer, but it's still technically registered to that laptop, and I'm too lazy to go to try and change it at this point. Now he's got that Poison Quill trap there. That interesting. I'm not entirely sure what that does. Oh, okay. That's kind of lame. So it's got a... Well, I guess I don't have it up there anymore, but it has an aura, it's Shadow Spawn, and it has the, this shit. But, I mean, that's... I don't know, it's hardly worth it unless they actually do some decent damage or whatever to whatever you Nora shield. Then I suppose it can be worth it. Oh, there's the Air Guard. Yeah, it's looking pretty much like it's an Arrow Eater type of deck. Kind of an anti-range. which is decent against these Vashals. They've got a lot of range. It's pretty good, but he's just gonna now start deploying all his melee, like that Mirror Blade and that Cavalier. And he's just gonna take his range and, you know, bring it over to put pressure on the font or whatever. Because that's already intensified, so it doesn't have its nice heal that it'll have. Now he's got all these illusions. Yada yada. And he can at least smack that once, because Absorb still lets one attack through, and I'm not sure if you could hear my cat crying at me. She tends to do that. She's a little attention hog. Let's see what Mark does for that. Looks like he... Purifier. Okay, to dispel, I suppose. But, I mean... Alright. I suppose with that Norris shield being gone now, it'll end up being alright, because he's probably going to swing this Reaver in. And possibly this Ire Guard. Well, he can't quite bring the Ire Guard in, but he can bring the Reaver right up to there. Or he can just use the Angel, I suppose. And then he's probably gonna... Yep, just move that in. Which means he just put that MarkXXIV there to protect his font. But he's got this range dude here. So that won't last all that long as a defense, really. But, I mean, we'll see what happens. I mean, his only move to kill that Mirror Blade now is another smack with the Angel. Or, well, I guess it's dead anyways because of the aura. But that Angel's going to get hurt by that too. Whereas if he were to smack it with the Angel, he could move the pincushion over and take out that illusion. Which would probably be a decent enough move. And it would have stopped his Angel from getting hurt. But it also would have left it with kind of lower AP. Oh, there we go. He's got Spellkaiser up there. I was worried there for a moment he was just going to have that banner. So we still got this, this font here is pretty well contested. It looks like Tiny's just planning his move out at this point. Oh, there's the Bond of Vashal. So they've all got Tef and Regen. 3 for the most part, I think. Yep. Except for this guy, he's all on his own. But, you know, what are you going to do? Smacking the Angel, probably looking to take her out relatively early. He's going to swing him on in. He might start wailing on that pincushion since he can't hit it from range. Oh, there's another Mirror Blade. Still not going to be able to do enough damage because of aerial supremacy. He's got his Cavalier back there, not quite up in the fight yet. But he is at least contesting that font, which means it's now 2 fonts to 1. So I mean, the longer he stays in that font and keeps it contested, the better chance he has of winning, because just every turn he'll gain a 12 Nora advantage. And he's probably just going to let that DOT take away and start wailing on that banner. And he's gonna, there we go, he's gonna take out that mirror blade. There we go with that. Which did something apparently. Then he's gonna go contest that font. There we go. That was a decent enough move. And then Tiny will have to deploy to try and protect that font, because that was kind of an out of nowhere, almost surprise move. There we go, we got the Reaver taking out that illusion. And he's Nora shielded, so he's probably not going to attack. He's probably just going to wait and let that damage aura hurt it, because that'll hit after that is gone, so he should be good in that sense. And he's got that Reaver and that pincushion in that font. So he's actually in a pretty good position. Mark is. Oh, okay, he had that ridiculous, oh, you killed me but I didn't really die. I'm actually still back here with, you know, low health or some bullshit. So he's still alive back there. But if he doesn't do anything about this font, he's just going to move that angel in. He'll have that nice font as of next turn. And he'll have blood balls deployed there so he can start healing up. So it won't be like, you know, 11 health angel, it'll be an actual decent one. It'll be interesting to see what Tiny does. Oh, but look at that. Did I call it or what? Just moved on, started attacking the banner. Just letting the DOT do its work for now until that immune physical's gone. And then he'll tap him again. Oh, here we go. He's got a mirror blade thrown down in the font. It's almost like he deployed it there. Here's the fountain doing that. Good lord. Oh, okay. Now he's sitting there with a 43 health angel, which is significantly more intimidating. I think he just has that Bloodseeker for this last turn, though. So he'll be back down to 7 speed. Oh, I bet he'd love to just wipe the shit out of that druid with that Ire Guard. But he's Nora shielded, and that would give Tiny a lot of Nora. Enough to probably swing the game if he were to just wail on that. Ooh. Now, Mark's Shrine is at 37 health. So he's got his Cavalier and his Ranger here. He could just decide, alright, well, fuck you, and go for the Shrine Rush. And with a decent enough power turn, you know, I'm not sure what KF's capable of as far as power turnage. I don't really play them. But with a decent enough power turn, he could totally just swing on in there. Especially left unengaged like that. I'm just not sure what kind of AP gen options are available. There's another angel thrown down. So this looks like the battle group kind of hinges around things that are difficult to kill from at least some perspective. You know, the Spellkaiser with one with Nora working with regen there. The angels with Absorb and Intensify. the Ire Guards with, decent enough stats and Arrow Eater, and then the Pincushions with Damage Shield and Arrow Eater. I mean, it seems like it's mostly kind of a range hate heavy deck, but I think that's just mostly because that was Underdepth's specialty in this regard. Looks like Tiny's kind of just pulling back. He probably has a relic of some kind in that font, or maybe not, and he's just decided to do that. Okay, he decided to... Gotcha. So he's Nora shielded and he's in that font. And he's boosting even, so he's like the guy that Mark would probably want to be taken out right now. But he just can't do it. And there's the banner, giving everything a little more health and damage. And he's just still ignoring that Spellkaiser. Interesting. I was expecting him to smack that again by now. But he's just going to take out that banner, I suppose. Oh, there's Boomerang. Killing that. So Mark's got his font back up there. And with a simple relic deploy down there, if he's got a relic, then he's contesting down there. Or, I mean, he could always just move. I mean, he could probably attack that, and if it's an illusion, then it'll just die, and he can move into the font. Let's see what he's doing. I do have to say, since the last time I watched Mark, he has gotten significantly better as far as the types of choices he makes. I mean, it's... it used to be very questionable moves that were going down. It was one of those things where you kind of started to wonder how much of the wins were just on the sheer power level of the deck, and while that's still a factor here, it's not quite to the same extent as it used to be. Oh, there he's got another Mirror Blade, swinging that on in. Trying to wail on it as best he can, I suppose. He'll need a spell if he wants to take out that angel at this point. Though he does still have a seal right there, so he can Nora shield, I suppose, one of them. That one, which would be the one that he could kill. Since he's taking Bloodseeker instead of Escalation on that angel, which, I mean, has worked out for him very, very well this game, but I mean, it personally is not the choice that I would make. I find Escalation to be generally the more reliable option. It's not a bad choice, though. Alright, and Tiny's just kind of repositioning, I guess. Mostly defensively. He'll probably move his Voths on in to take out that Eremite. I mean, he can just throw shield and then move in and double tap, and it's dead. Or he can boomerang, I suppose. Oh, he had the, that's right, he had that Nokando bullshit. Oh, okay. Oh, so he did that for, okay, awesome. So it looks like, yeah, very much so, this game at least, Bloodseeker's working out quite well for Mark. That angel down there is still pretty hurt and probably gonna die, but he's gotten a lot of use out of it. He's been contesting this font for a good little while. He did some damage to stuff. He probably even stealth dropped a relic in there, or just gave him the font back. Okay. I'm not sure that would have been my choice, but I mean, I guess he got his Carano out. So it's kind of a bleed and range hate combination deck, I suppose. Which I suppose would just be the Underdepths meta, if I had to label anything as being that. Now he does have a war cry about to happen. Dunk. He could have had his Ranger of Space closer and it would have gotten it, but whatever. I mean, there's not really much he can do against that that wall, because it's all mostly Arrow Eater or Absorb, and he's got, his range dude there, and he can heal up a little bit with the Avenging Angel, and that's decent damage for a melee Inkathir. So I mean, that's really kind of his best bet at this point. And he's probably got a relic then, I would say, in there. Of course, there's Dispel. And just the Wailage with the Ire Guard. Bloodseeker to get the speed and whatnot up. Yep. Moving his angel up. And the Reaver, of course, as well, is going up. I mean, really, at this point, it looks like Mark's pretty well won this. He's got that mid-font. He's managed to hold his font up there. Most of Tiny's deck doesn't really do jack squat. He's got almost an anti-Tiny deck, the way he's got it set up. Now he's teleporting that Spellkaiser on in. I mean, Tiny does still have this Mirror Blade down here, and that Shrine health is still pretty low. I'm wondering if he'll try and make some level of, last minute sort of play. Looks like he is going to try and take out that angel at least. He should probably get a ranged attack off while he still can. Yeah, you can kill it with that druid there. Or you can move in with the ranger, that works too. And then he can still, I guess, smack that Corona with the druid there. Because she doesn't have Airweeder or Absorb or any of that nonsense. But I expect that we're just going to see like a Fire Blast or a Maddening Echoes or something kind of wailing down on here. I mean, they're all illusions, so Echoes probably would be a bad choice, but still. That was a decent reclaim because it got the Corona and the Ire Guard there. And he still has, Tiny still has a relic in that font somewhere. Yeah, I guess probably right there-ish. There we go, Mark's moving in to contest the home font. With that Reaver. Unleveled Reaver, interesting. Unleveled Ire Guard too. Which kind of explains the upgrade choices. Sacrificing the Corona. Interesting. So he's building up tons of Nora. I wonder if he's planning on a big deploy or if he's planning on like a big power turn. There's another SPiEkY. I don't know, I'm not sure if those were good sacrifices that he made. Because, I mean, he did let Tiny have his font down there back. And he's kind of now on the retreat, though he did just throw down another Reaver as well as that SPiEkY, so, I mean, he's doing decent in that regard. But his Ire Guard there is pretty well hurting. And I think that's his illusion, but it's next to that Reaver, and he wants it to be next to that Ire Guard. Okay, there we go. He got that Horn of Order to get the Invigorate and Drive. So he's got that Ire Guard down. Grabbing the globe. He's just out of attack range with that Avenging Angel. But he's got a Cavalier down. And he's going to, I guess, engage there with the Druid for some reason. I'm not entirely sure. Yeah, teleporting the SPiEkY in. And there's Magic Beam. He's gonna try and take out that Mirror Blade, I suppose. Katunk, there it is. So now he's got just the other Mirror Blade and the Illusion to deal with, as well as the that Ranger that's, I think, is that the same Ranger that's been around since the beginning of the game? It probably is. He's also got that Avenging Angel, that Druid, and this new Cavalier to deal with still. And he's got, he's got 2 Reavers and 2 SPiEkY, which is, is decent. decent enough board to be fielding. And that Reaver is probably dead next turn. I mean, he just needs to have a Perseverance counter, which I think he probably does. I'm not sure, actually. I mean, he doesn't have one on the board except for, I think he has one of those traps in this font, but unless he has two of those traps, then he won't be able to actually take that down, because he'll need a Perseverance counter to actually take it down. Oh, here comes the Ranger. Is he going to be moving the Avenging Angel in as well? Because it's got decent damage. There's an Aramite. Okay, so he's at least moving that to there, which is still out of range of that Warcry. See, I would have Warcried with him still in range of it at least. But I guess we'll have to see what he's doing. There's the Warcry, which did put that into Blood Frenzy. And he's doing that, but if he had had that Angel over there, he would have actually been able to double tap it with the Angel. Or, well, he wouldn't have even needed to double tap, he would have only needed to hit it once. And then he would have needed a Perseverance counter, but he's got that ridiculous Reaver there. He was just going to start wailing on that Cavalier. Because he's got multi-2 with 4 extra damage, so he's up to 19. And then he's going to cauterize the Druid there. He's got that, I guess he has the Blood Bow out now. Still pretty low on that Shrine health. I'm not sure. I believe this one is the non-illusion. I think that's the real one. I wasn't really paying attention, so I'm not totally sure. But I think that's the real one. I mean, he's leaving it, you know, still within distance to smack that Shrine. I mean, not for a whole ton of damage, obviously, but I'm not sure what ton of power turn spells KF has. Okay, he's shield throwing on that Druid over there, putting a hurt on that. And then I wonder if he's going to attack the Cavalier. Well, it's block 1, so I mean, he still gets, got to get through. But he won't be able to block this next turn. He'll have to wait for the next turn afterwards. Oh, did he just try to cleanse himself? I think he might have. I don't know, I'm seeing a lot of bad play from Tiny's side on this game. I mean, not the worst play, but, it's bad enough that I think it cost him the game enough. He's probably going to bring that Mirror Blade in to smack that Spellkaiser. He's just not really doing anything with that Avenging Angel, which is interesting. bringing that in. He's got good old no can do, or however that's pronounced, no can do. He can't quite swing in with that mirror blade, so he's just kind of pulling back, it looks like, getting ready to kind of turtle up. He's got that other blood bow out. So, I mean, he still has to move all his other forces in, but he's been given quite a few blood frenzy rounds with that Reaver. He just went over to smack that Ranger and read into it to take it out. Probably because it, first off is a decent enough thing, but then also because it had that Horn of Order. So it's a decent support rune. Oh, there's the Poison Quill Trap that I mentioned earlier that was in there. Right where I said it was probably. Now he can't do anything with that SPiEkY as far as hurting that. So I mean that's still going to be a contested font for this next turn at least. I'm not sure why he insisted on moving that one extra space just to put it at that nice 4. That was probably the better spot to leave that at. That is a good point that Markov just brought up there. It was kind of funny how Mark MW here moved his range into position before finding the trap, so he couldn't actually kill it. Otherwise he would have had that font. That would have been the better move there, I suppose. That SPiEkY's dead because of that druid Katunk. And that spell, by the way, was Nature's Wrath, for those of you who are watching that don't know. So, I mean, Tiny's still just kind of picking off MW's champs here one at a time, which is a very effective strategy. Because a good number of Tiny's champs are still alive. I mean, a handful have died, but, I mean, so have a handful on Mark's side. Let's see what he does now. I mean, he's got that mirror blade back nearly up to full health. That's, he's decent rune there, that mirror blade. Oh, there he is, teleporting on in to take the font. That's his font now. I wonder if he's going to move his range in to attack, or if he's just going to try and hold that font. But I mean, taking that one down there pretty much sealed the game for him. He's got Grimlick. Shrine's looking at 29 HP. That's pretty low. But he just has no way of getting all the way over there, because he's got to go through, 2 blood bows, Grimlick and the Reaver. So I mean, Tiny can move this guy over and drop a relic to contest that font back, but he still would have that SPiEkY to deal with. He can move the Cavalier in to actually contest it. So he's probably just going to try and shift the fight for the most part now to getting this font back, taking out this SPiEkY. There's another Ranger out. Comes with his little pet wolf there. Always helpful. Moving the Eremite up to probably, there we go in and engage the Reaver and contest that font. So I mean, Tiny still is, he's still hanging in there. He's not doing too terribly well, but he's also not doing too horribly. Now I wonder if he's going to use another Purifier, there we go, to get rid of that Nora shield. And now he's just probably going to focus fire that. Get rid of the Nokando stacks with his weaker guys. Moving Grimlick up, of course, so he's got this decent setup here trying to defend this font. And meanwhile, there's Cauterize. So that Cavalier now is just a matter of time before he ends up dead, because he can't cleanse and can't heal. I mean, it's one of those abilities that's been complained about for a while. The fact that that's just a permanent heal, or inhibit and defile. But at the same time, like, is it really actually affecting balance on any level, or is it just something that people don't like? Now that might just be me speaking as an Underdepth zealot. That's entirely possible. I mean, I've been accused of being that in the past. But, I mean, I think it's just one of those things that really isn't as big of a deal as people seem to think it is. I mean, if you've got a Spellkaiser wailing on you, you're probably not going to be living that much longer in the first place. So then we got that Spellkaiser now has been, a little wailed on, but not too bad. Bringing the Mirror Blade in now to attack the Reaver. He of course hasn't Nora shielded, but his illusions aren't taken because of the Underdepths font, which is actually way better than a lot of Underdepths players give it credit for, because it does stop shit like that. If you were playing any other faction, you would have 2 other illusions now to deal with. He's got his Vicar down. I mean, I guess we'll just have to see what happens. I mean, if he tries to take down that Mirror Blade without a Purifier like that, that may have just effectively won him the game. As far as making Tiny surrender. Because he just avoided a huge Nora trade-off. As well as, healing up his Reaver there a little bit. He threw his shield, so I mean that wolf is dead too. So he's left with a bunch of range and a healer against an Arrow Eater and, some range. I mean, it's really just, it's not looking great for Tiny at this point. But, I guess we'll just have to see what's going on. I mean, that really right there, that's just blatant baiting. What he's trying to do at this point is he's trying to get Tiny to move his, probably his Ranger, or maybe his Avenging Angel in. Because he knows he doesn't have any Nora Shield ability So he moves that in. He gets wailed on by the Bloodbows and Grimlick and the Reaver. But he only can get off 2 attacks. And he's trying to cleanse that Cavalier, but he can't because he's got Defiled on there. And it's just not going to work out for him. Oh, he did just deploy another Druid to Norris shield that. And he's going now for that Bloodbow because he knows that they're squishy and he can probably take it out. Now what Mark might do is he might just start swinging in to take out that Vicar with that Reaver. Kind of just ping it a couple times. There he is. He's hexing the Druid up there. Leaving the Cavalier though, as far as that type of stuff, I guess. Oh, yep, looks like he is. He's moving in on that Vicar. And the Druid, apparently. Okay. Getting, eviscerated and bloodied and whatnot, spread around and get some blood balls out. Alright, he moved in, but he's probably just going to save the rest of that AP. Oh, sacrificing that. Because I probably only had 1 range attack left, and there's a pincushion. And something is making my game lag. I'm not entirely sure what, but I will investigate and report back. Alright, I think I fixed it. Yep, looks like we did. Okay, so we, not sure what we missed. Okay, so we deployed that pincushion, and then Tiny's just been thinking about his move, I suppose. He goes moving away with that Vicar, because he knows he's just going to keep getting wailed on. Moving back with the Ranger, and apparently wanting to take the Blood Ball. I'm not sure, maybe so he could heal. I think Tiny at this point, I think, is just stalling the game out. I know it is a known strategy of Tiny's to stall a game until the opponent disconnects and then force a friendly quit, which is kind of a dick move, but I don't think that'll be a problem in this game. I think even if Mark here starts lagging, I think he'll just push through it, because at this point he has to know that he's won the game. It's all just a matter of sweeping up. I mean, just look at that juicy 4-man echoes right there. And none of them are Norris shielded. Oh, good God. I mean, seriously, just a nice double echoes right down there. Really? Nothing? Maybe a firebomb too? Couldn't quite get all of them with a firebomb, but you could at least get 3 of them. Oh, he's got Faithless. So what's his spell presence? He doesn't actually... Oh, that's why he isn't doing that. He doesn't have spell presence all the way out there. There's a Renovator out. Decent range option. There's Price of Victory. Smacking that Ranger. Moving up to not attack because he's not ranged anymore. Wailing on it. And he's probably just going to go and grab the globe, which will put him right next to that shrine. But it did also leave his shrine with 14 health. So I mean, I'm curious to see what Tiny does. I suppose now would be a good time to bring up my new product. I probably should have thought this bit out beforehand. In a bottle. It only costs way more than it should cost. And I'm not really sure where I'm going with this. Anyways, he's got his Vicar there. Starting to wail on Grimlick. Probably just trying for the consolation prize at this point. Kind of that, well, I can't win the match, but maybe I can at least kill his Grimlick. Moving the Druid on up. There's Reclaim. See, he should have, with that Reaver, he should have grabbed that globe. First off, it would have been better positioned as far as Reclaim, but it also would have given him that Nora. I mean, he just let it sit there. He was going to have to move in to take out the shrine anyways. But, I don't know. Got that Angel there, keeping the font contested. Moving back with the Cavalier and this Druid. So he just got a 4-man Reclaim. That's pretty hefty. And he's probably going to move in with the Reaver there. As well as the Ire Guard, I would bet. Partly to get off Reclaim and partly to, you know, put pressure on that shrine there. Bringing the Bloodbow in to attack the Vicar. Now he could bring his Pincushion all the way over there to hit that with his damage aura, but that also puts him at next to a cliff with 0 AP. Which is generally no bueno. Oh, he did use the Deception, the only way to get around Pacified. No, seriously, put that right next to his fucking shrine. See how much he fucks with that. Suppose it doesn't really have to matter since 4 of these 5 guys are ranged. And the other one's way the fuck over there, so he just needs to get far enough away from that. And out of actual attack range of that. Get all his Grimlicks out of Reclaim range. It looks like, you know, next turn Tiny will probably Fortify. And then the turn after that he'll probably Transfigure, or he might just Transfigure next turn. But as soon as he stops fortifying, then it'll be probably game over. Because he'll just be able to focus the shrine at that point. Bringing that Cavalier, and he's going to take out that Bloodbow for sure. There's the Fortify. But I think that Bloodbow was pretty well expendable at this point. Oh, and he's got split personality on that Cavalier. Ouch. There's the Druid. I mean, he just had to get that one Warcry off. which he still did. Alright, he's probably going to smack that Grimlick, see if it's an illusion or the real one. Smack the Renovator because he knows it's real. I mean, he is really at this point just stalling, I would say. He's not even going to smack the Grimlick. Interesting. He's just trying to keep out of harm's way. To play a Quill Quip, some more range, help Turtle. The problem is he's got that Reaver and that Ire Guard and that Pincushion to deal with. And they're all kind of anti-range type stuff. And there's the Echoes. Killing that guy. Here comes the Renovator coming in to smack the Vicar, and then he's probably going to bring in Grimlick. And that's probably one of the illusions. Or, no, that's the real one, otherwise he wouldn't have been grabbing health with it. Oh, didn't quite kill the Vicar. Well, he did because of damage ore, I suppose. Oh, and there's the game. Finally, the surrender. Alright, well, that was that, and apparently, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. MW, Mark 24, is better than TinyDragon. You saw it here first, folks. You saw it here first. This is definitive proof, apparently. I guess. I'm sure he'll take it as proof, so there it is.